Guys, little Johnny got on the bus one morning, and the bus driver really don't like little Johnny, and little Johnny knows the bus driver don't like him. So little Johnny started talking to himself just loud enough for the bus driver to hear him. Little Johnny said, well, if my daddy was a bull and my mama was a cow, that would make me a little bull. If my daddy was a rooster and my mama was a hen, that'd make me a little rooster. Well, the bus driver, he was getting fed up with him already, so he turned around and he said, little Johnny, I got one for you. He said, if your daddy was a drunk and your mama was a prostitute, what would that make you? Little Johnny jumped up and said, a bus driver. Hey guys, I come up with me another motor for my Chicken Plucker. Now I don't know, some of you may not have seen the first video, but I attach it above. But when I built it, tested it out, the motor that I had put on there was an old motor, probably as old as me, off an old air compressor. I believe it was a 1 horsepower, but it was so old, when you threw the chicken in there, you kind of had to hold it. The motor would choke down. It just wasn't strong enough. Now I know a 1 horsepower motor is plenty strong enough. It's just that motor was so old. So I came across me another motor here, and it's only a 3/4 horsepower, and it's off of a swimming pool sand filter pump. The RPMs on it is 3,400 RPMs, but I got the same, well, no, I don't think that's the same pulley. This is an 1.5 inch pulley on the motor to a 14-inch pulley. The same pulley I already had on my Chicken Plucker. So it should be running somewhere around 280, 310 RPMs, which ought to be good. I done the deed on this rooster over here. This is one of them roosters. If you see my last chicken video update, this rooster was actually processing age, 16 weeks old, before it ever decided if it wanted to be a rooster or a hen, or at least convince me it was another rooster. It's supposed to be a hen. But anyway, I tried to fatten it up a little bit, but it's a hopeless cause for it. But he's probably, I'll put in the screen here how old he is exactly, but he's somewhere around 25, 26, 27 weeks old, something like that. But I'll put that in the screen for y'all. But he's gonna be I needed to get rid of him anyway. And now that I got my new motor, I'm gonna test this out and see. Now I tested it out with a wet towel balled up, soaking wet. And this motor is stronger than the motor that I had on there. So I'm hoping it's gonna be good. Y'all can see I repainted everything. I had some more blue paint, so that motor there needed painting, so I just repainted that and my carton all blue. So I'm gonna go around here and scald the bird, and then we're gonna come around here and see how this plucker works now. Now I just got my little scalder here. All I use is basically like a fish fryer. Had this old pot I had back when I done taxidermy work. Since I'm doing one bird, it ain't no sense in moving it around there, so I just heated the water up here. I got my water at 150 degrees. This time I did remember to put a little soap in my water. I normally forget to do that, but a little soap helps. I'm hoping I ain't got too much soap. But we're gonna put him in here and see if we can get him scalded and how this plucker's gonna work. Now, I don't never time mine, but this somewhere takes about a minute. maybe slightly over a minute, dipping it around, picking it up. Like I said, I don't time them because I do this until the wing feathers or tail feathers kind of release where I can pull them out. Now there's some people out there on YouTube that'll tell you the perfect degree water is 148 degrees, and you do this for exactly 30 seconds. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't no way you can get that precise, especially when they set up with a fish cooker like this, because once you dip a couple of chickens, your water's gonna cool off, and it ain't temperature controlled. So that way you would steady be lightening and turning off your water and relighting, and it ain't down to that much science, guys, to say exactly to a 1 degree of water. At least you can't make me believe that. And see the tail feather starting to pull out right there. Wing feathers still stuck in there a little bit. Now if you're doing younger birds at the proper age, 16 or 18 weeks old, you don't even have to do them as long as you do these older birds. All right, that's gonna be good enough. We finna go around there and try this plucker out now. All right, guys, y'all ready to see how it's gonna work? I'm thinking it's gonna work right this time. Let me get y'all over here where you can see down in the barrel. I think y'all can see pretty good right there. I'm gonna just wet the barrel, turn it on. Oh yeah. Guys, now she's working like a chicken plucker's supposed to work. That motor didn't even try to choke down this time, so now I think I could do 2 chickens at one time like you ought to be able to. But y'all see that bird there ain't near about as meaty as them roosters I done that I got from Mandolin Royal. And like I said, I don't know why, like this bird was so slow maturing and growing. Sometimes I think that's from over excessive inline breeding, done went on too far or something. But I'm no chicken breeder expert, that's just my opinion. But as far as the chicken plucker, y'all see that's a clean plucked chicken, and y'all can time that every how long it is. What, about 20 seconds, maybe 30. But I don't even know if that little chicken's got enough meat on it to make it even worse skinning out to try to cook. I'm home by myself tonight. I might skin it out and see if I can do something with it. I'm gonna go right here and throw it in the cool water in the sink, and I'll be right back. But yeah, guys, that's a messed up little bird right there. Because he's been for the last 2 weeks just eating corn. Still didn't put on no weight. I might put him in the Instant Pot, the electric pressure cooker, and it'll be enough meat for me to eat if it ain't too tough. But now we finna turn this on and wash some of them feathers on out. Sometimes them big wing feathers there get hung up in here and won't wash out, so you can just take your hand and get them out real quick. now she's ready to go for next time. So one of the questions I answered on the first video, I'm gonna repeat in case I got some different viewers here. Is a chicken plucker worth building? Well, money-wise, unless you like me and you got everything you needed here, I bought the rubber fingers, and I have it in the description below this video, the links to what I purchased. The rubber fingers, I had to buy a belt because I wanted the exact size belt so I didn't have to put no idler on there. And guys, even when I changed this motor, I was able, which I had to build a bracket for it since it was off of a pool pump, and I built the bracket and made it work right back with that brand new belt I had, so I didn't have to change a belt or nothing, buy a new belt. So I bought the fingers, it was up, and the belt. If I remember right, that's all I actually purchased to build this. And even after getting this other motor here, I still ain't got no money in that motor. But if you had to purchase all this, especially a motor, the plate, spinner plate, the pillow bearings, I'm just saying, if you ain't got all this stuff, guys, and can build this out of materials you've collected that you ain't got no money in, you better off buying a chicken plucker. Now, I think this style chicken plucker, which is built like the whiz bang, whoever whiz bang fella come up with these, and this is basically on that same principles. I think this is a much better plucker that's gonna last way longer than the chicken pluckers that you buy. Because some of them chicken pluckers from $350 to $600 ain't near about built as good as this, and they're not gonna last as long. And the way this setup right here is, if that motor goes out, I mean, I could have bought a brand new motor, a 1 horsepower motor from Harbor Freight. Right now, the price is like $140. But I wasn't gonna do that until next year, because I was getting, the motor I had on here was working. I just couldn't let go of the chicken and let him go in there. It would slow down. I'd have to grab him and kind of pick up on him and hold him, let him flop around. So I could get by with the motor I had. But if you, like I said, if you're gonna build one, you better like doing projects, because this ain't just no little run out there in 30-minute build. That's how many holes you gotta drill. And by the time you get through pulling them fingers in there, then you gotta drill all these holes in this plate in the bottom. I'm using aluminum plate. I've seen some use, I don't know what they made out of, some kind of polycarbonate or something. But by the time you drill all these holes and pull all these fingers in, and if you're building it from scratch, you have to build your shaft, fasten it to your plate. So it, like I said, it's a time consuming. It ain't something you're gonna run out there and do in just a couple hours. But there's your little walk around. Like I said, I had an old dolly. I built mine on a dolly. That way I ain't got to worry about moving it. Now that little cap there ain't nothing but a metal lid I put over my motor just so there can't no water drip down right into the top of my motor. And it's actually just silicone on to hold it in place. That way if I ever need to remove it, I can just snatch it off. But there she is. So guys, I am very happy that that motor worked out. Saved me from having to buy one. Because knowing me, before my chickens got ready to process, because next summer I'm going to be doing hopefully about 20 at one time, the first time. I'd have probably went and purchased a motor that way. It would have been faster, and it's just a mind thing. I done spent time building this. I wanted it running right. If I was gonna buy a new motor and go buy one, I was gonna at least buy a 1 horsepower. But the whiz bang, he sells specs that shows you how to build these, which I didn't do it. I didn't just look at pictures of other people's YouTube and build my own on my own thinking. But he says a 3/4 horsepower motor will work, and he's right, that works. But I was gonna go with a 1 horsepower just to make absolutely sure when I dropped 2 chickens in there that it had enough power to spin them. Now me, I'm a 1-man operation, so even if I'm doing 15 or 20 chickens at one time, I'm gonna be doing one at a time, because 90% of the time I'm gonna be working by myself. So I just do 1 chicken, scald it, put it in there, put it in the cold water, dispatch another, scald it. I'll just be doing 1 at a time. I won't be doing two at a time, no way. But guys, I just wanted to give a little update, because I know some of you that watches all of my videos may have been curious, did I ever come up with a motor? And ain't been about 3 or 4 weeks now, and I done come up with a motor and got her going. And it worked out good, because that old rooster there needed to be got out of the way. So it made a good test rooster. But if you like these type little videos, guys, please take the time to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, good or bad. Just send a wave or something to help my algorithm on YouTube. How YouTube works, if you don't get thumbs up and comments and stuff, it's kind of like YouTube don't advertise for you, so your channel will be out there so other people can see it and come across it and start watching your videos. So if you would help me out on that, and I'd greatly appreciate it. And as always, I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great day, a blessed week. God bless. See y'all next time.